It's a beautiful day to be alive, my friends. Welcome to the Mario Matter, your favorite Nintendo podcast, episode number 87, with your host, EmSwizzle. That is my name on YouTube. I am Max. You can call me that, whichever one you prefer. Welcome to the show, guys. How is it going on this fine Saturday as of posting? Yes, we post every single Saturday. Today, I always say this, we have a stacked show. There's so many great things to talk about today. I was thinking about having a guest today, but I was like, you know what? There's so much Nintendo news to discuss. Let me just break it down myself. There's a lot, guys. So, to begin this show, we're going to go over a lot of Nintendo news from the past week. I always do that. That is called the Nintendo News Headlines segment. After that, we just got a brand new Nintendo game released, and that is Endless Ocean Luminous. It is actually to my right there. I have bought it, I have played it, and I will discuss my first impressions on the game, should you buy it, all that kind of cool stuff. After that, guys, we got a big leak in the Nintendo world. Essentially, a brand new Nintendo Switch game has leaked. And it's not a rumor, guys. It's not a rumor. This is, I shouldn't say confirmed, but like whatever comes right before confirmed. Like it's a real thing from the best Nintendo leaker in the game who has not really ever been wrong. So, a lot of cool things. And then at the end of all that, we will answer your questions that you have asked me. I'm actually changing up that segment a little bit. I'm kind of changing it. What we're doing is we're taking more questions, but giving a little bit of shorter answers. So that segment will be a whole lot of fun. And then after that, we wrap up the show. Also, in this show today, I'm giving away a free 7-day Nintendo Switch Online trial code. So stay tuned for that. It'll be somewhere in this podcast. With all that said, let's go ahead. Let's get to the Nintendo News Headline segment to kick off this show. Let's go.
Welcome to the Mario Matter, the #1 Nintendo podcast.
Guys, someone said to me recently, Max, why do you always wear the same shirt every time that you're on camera? It's always these Gymshark shirts. Story time. I bought one of these shirts and I was like, man, it's so comfortable. I just bought like 5 and now I automate my life. I wear a variation of this shirt every single day because I don't want to have to think about like what to wear today. Just put on a shirt, some Gymshark shorts, and you're chilling. Like that's my automated life. So that's a answer to a question that I've gotten recently that you might have also been wondering. I always wear Gymshark stuff. Now, I'm not sponsored. I would love it, but I'm not. And that's not it's not a goal of mine to be sponsored by Gymshark. It'd be nice, but like, I don't really need that. It's okay. Now, guys, if you have never been to the Nintendo News Headlines segment on this podcast, well, here's a quick rundown. I gave a little bit during the intro, but essentially we're just diving in news from the past 7 days. This podcast gets posted Saturday, May 4th. May the 4th be with you. Sorry, May the 4th be with you all on today's posting date. If you're listening afterwards, no worries. Thank you for your listenership, your viewership. I appreciate it. So yeah, we're diving into news. It's going to be great. And during this segment, we give away a free Nintendo Switch Online 7-day trial code. Stay tuned for that. And during this segment, I give you a trivia question. So I will ask you the question, a multiple choice answer question, and then at the end of the show, we give you the answer. A lot to digest there. I apologize, but I'll get into the news in a second. Our trivia question for today, guys, that you will need to answer before the end of the episode. So think about it the entire show. Our question is, in what game did Waluigi first appear in? Very simple. I have 4, multiple choice answers. So which one do you think it is? Is it A, Mario Golf? Is it B, Mario Kart 64? Is it C, Mario Tennis? Or is it D, Mario Party 3? Let me know and comment down below your answer right now. Lock it in if you're on a platform that can comment, so YouTube or Spotify. and we'll see if you're right by the end of the show. With that said, let's dive into our first piece of news. I have all of these pieces of news in my little hat right here. They're all folded up pieces of paper. Let's look at what this one says. Oh, guys, we're starting with an absolute banger. This is a banger, and it's the most classic piece of Nintendo news that we could ever start off with, okay? Nintendo, over the past week, has sent a DMCA takedown, which is like, hey, take this stuff down, to GitHub, which is where you can download cool things, for 8,535 clones of the Nintendo Switch emulator Yuzu. Now, I know that was a mouthful, so let me break this down for you, okay? Let me pull up my dandy notes here. Here we are. So, basically, there was a Nintendo Switch emulator called a Yuzu, and an emulator is where you can download this piece of software on your computer or even like your Steam Deck or something, and you can basically play Switch games anywhere except for on your actual Switch, and that would let people, play games in better frame rates and have better graphics on their Switch games. It was a cool option for a lot of people. However, about 2 months ago now, Nintendo shut down that emulator and they sued them. So now there's a bunch of clones that are trying to do the same thing as Yuzu did that are popping up on this site called GitHub. It's like, hey guys, we're a clone of Yuzu. If you still want the actual emulator, download us. Nintendo took down, just this past week, 8,535 Yuzu emulator clones. Okay. In the most Nintendo fashion, they've sent a DMCA takedown to GitHub to remove all of those. So they're really freaking cracking down on the emulation issue. We've known this for a long time. Nintendo does not like emulators. They don't. They want you to play Nintendo games on Nintendo systems. And while the legality of emulation will forever be argued, it's not something that they want. So if they can do anything about anybody emulating anything, any is the key word, they're gonna do it. So that's all done. And, there's still probably gonna be clones popping up like, hey, download us, Switch emulator. Yeah, it'll probably still happen. But just know, Nintendo's out there. So watch out, or else. I'm not trying to shill them. I'm just like, they're out there. They're gonna find you, okay? They're gonna find you. Steer clear of the Nintendo ninjas, please. I always say this whenever something like that happens. When Nintendo sues someone or takes down a YouTuber's video or does some stuff like that, I always try to think of who at the company actually sat down and did that. I'm sure it's not hard to get people to do that, and it's a respectable job. But are there just 5 guys in some office room, just all have laptops, just striking down things? Or how do they find this kind of stuff? Some YouTuber who modded their game gets taken down. Are they just scouring all day? I don't know what it is. Maybe there's one guy who just scours the interwebs all day and finds this stuff and goes, oh, take it down, I don't know. Who knows? But yeah, that happened. I mean, not much that you can really say. It's a classic Nintendo move. Let's read our next piece of Nintendo news from the hat. Let's open it up. Woo, guys. I am so excited to talk about this game in a few minutes here. The piece of news reads, Endless Ocean Luminous has released, okay, we might have known that, and it has gotten new Nintendo Switch Online icons. So let's pull up my cool notes here. Boom. So, Endless Ocean Luminous, I have the box right here. I'm going to show you guys right now. If you're watching the video version, audio version, can't see this. I would recommend that you listen to the YouTube version once in a while. Here is Endless Ocean Luminous, the brand new Nintendo. It's a second-party game, which means Nintendo has their name all over it, but it was developed by, we can see, Arika. They pretty much made the entire game, but they only work exclusively with Nintendo, if I have that right. Maybe some other people, but mostly Nintendo, if not only Nintendo. So in that way, it's called a second party game, is what it's called. So this released, and it's getting a lot of flack online. It's too boring. It's not enough content. It's so repetitive. I won't dive into my thoughts just yet, but if you do want to skip there to my actual thoughts, look in the description. There are timestamps, and it'll say Endless Ocean Luminous First Impressions. Skip there if you do want to hear my thoughts. For now, I won't give my thoughts. But this game is out. It's $50, which is a $10 little discount from the normal $60 price tag of Switch games like Mario Wonder, like, I don't know, Mario Party. Pretty much any first-party Switch game is $60, aside from, like, some exceptions like WarioWare or Tears of the Kingdom, stuff like that, right? So, $50, take it or leave it. And they've also, as per pretty much any big Nintendo release, they've put out icons for Nintendo Switch Online. So what that is if you have a Switch Online membership, which we're giving away in a second, you can go to the Switch Online app on your Switch and redeem Endless Ocean icons in exchange. Well, sorry, no. You pay platinum points, which are free to earn, and then you get Endless Ocean icons, and that's very cool. I went and redeemed every single one. So now you can customize your Switch profile with an Endless Ocean icon. Now, what was I going to say? Oh. Now, because you need Nintendo Switch Online to do that, weirdly enough, I don't know if every single copy of Endless Ocean will have this. My sealed copy of Endless Ocean from GameStop yesterday, GameStop hooked me up. Inside the box, I don't know, I'm not sure if everyone has this, was a free Nintendo Switch Online 7-day trial. And like, I don't need this. I'm a proud owner of Switch Online expansion pack. I don't need this free code. So guess what? I'm giving it to you all right now. If you want Switch Online, hurry up and type this code into your Switch eShop. Only one person can use it. If it didn't work for you, somebody might have beat you to it, all right? Somebody might have beat you. Ready? The code is sorry. Not eight. E0P8QWCLYGBFPVM3. That's code. If you are the first to use it, we'll get you a free 7-day Nintendo Switch Online game trial. I'm going to go ahead and put that card back in my box. Like, look, if you're on the video version, sorry, audio listeners, it's like the when you open a Switch box, it's those two hooks inside. It was just sitting right in there. Like, that's so cool. So it's a $50 game, but you're actually getting even more than that because you get free Switch Online trial stuff. So that's very cool. I'm going to go ahead and display the Endless Ocean box right on my table next to my chair. There we go. Cool beans. So Endless Ocean is out. The Switch Online icons are up there. There are going to be 4 waves, so they change every single Wednesday night. You'll see a new wave of Endless Ocean icons for the next 3 weeks, I believe. It's 4 waves, but I guess 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 4 waves of icons. Check back every Wednesday night at I believe, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. They will change. So, cool beans. We have 2 more pieces of Nintendo news headlines before we get to the Endless Ocean Luminous first impressions and the talk about the leaked Nintendo Switch game. Ready? Next headline here, I know what it is, because there's only 4 headlines. We have a brand new and free, so go and get this. Pikmin 4, May 2024, multiple 4s here. Wallpaper, available now. So, for the past, I don't even know, like 4-6 months or something like that, we've been getting a Pikmin 4 calendar to begin every single month, and they've just put out the May edition. So it's not as fruitful, it's not as much as the previous wallpapers, if I must say so myself. But it is a wallpaper, and I can't show it on screen because even though it's a free wallpaper, you have to like make an account to redeem it. So I don't want to show it to you in case I could like get in trouble. Like No, you showed it to them for free. They can screenshot it. They have to make an account, you know? I don't want to just show it to you for free. It's free, but I can't show it. Whatever, right? So the wallpaper is 4 blue Pikmin on flowers with a May calendar in the bottom right of the wallpaper. So that's it. That's your wallpaper. It is available on your phone. You can get a phone version. You can get, I believe, an iPad version or a computer desktop version. If you want that, the link is down below. Look in the description of the podcast. It'll say sources and links. It'll take you to a website with a bunch of links on it. Look for the one that says Pikmin 4 May 2024 calendar. There you go. Download it there. We have one final piece of news before we get to the Endless Ocean Luminous first impressions. If you want to skip anywhere in the podcast, feel totally free. But, for now, guys, one of my favorite pieces of news that keeps on happening, what feels like once a month or so. I love this piece of news. We have the next Splatoon 3 Splatfest revealed. I freaking love Splatfest. You cannot change my mind in the slightest. It's just such an event, dude. It's such a fun event. And if you do not know what a Splatfest is in Splatoon 3, their third-person shooter game from Nintendo, it's essentially just a big party in the game where you pick one of 3 teams, and those 3 teams go into Splatoon battles, and I believe essentially whichever team wins the most games essentially wins. There's other factors, which is why I said essentially, but if you win a bunch, you're probably going to win the whole Splatfest. So, very cool. Let's read the Splatfest theme for this occasion here. So, the next Splatfest, the theme is, what would you do at the world's end? Which means if the if the world is ending, what would you be doing? So you pick one of these 3 teams, whichever one applies to you. Would you be doing the same old stuff? So team 1 is called Same Old. Team 2 is called Bucket List. So would you be doing your bucket list things like go skydiving and stuff like that? Or are you team 3, which is Save the Day? So pick whichever one you would be doing. Would you be saving the day? Would you be doing your bucket list stuff? Or would you do the same old stuff that you're doing now? Those are the 3 teams. Pick whichever one. For me, if you guys want to be on my team, I'm going with team 2, bucket list. If the world is ending, okay, I'm not going to do the same old stuff. Let's say that it ended in a week. I would do one more episode of this podcast, and then I would go do my bucket list stuff. I would go skydiving. I don't even know. I would travel. I would do cool stuff like that, right? I wouldn't save the day. That's too much work, and someone else is going to do it, right? So, and I wouldn't do the same old stuff. Who is going to play Endless Ocean Luminous when the world is ending? I mean, come on, right? So you're not doing the same old stuff. The freaking world is ending. And if you want to participate in that Splatfest, it'll take place Friday, May 17th at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, and it ends 48 hours after that. So it ends Sunday, May 19th at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Wow, that is a Splatfest that I will be taking part in. Once again, join my team if you would like. I am Team Bucket List. And hopefully, if you're playing in the Splatfest, that time, hopefully you see me in your game. The chances of that are very, very slim. The chances are slim. But if you see me, walk up to me and just start squid bagging. Spam the left trigger, and I'll know that you were one of the 3,000 people that listen to this podcast. Oh, it's great. I appreciate every single one of you. All right, Splatoon Splatfest going down in, what's that, 2 weeks? 2 weeks? May 4th plus 14. That's May 18th. Yeah, so 2 weeks from now. Watch out, guys. Watch out. It starts May 17th, but May 18th is when it's ongoing. So, whatever it is. But, guys, that will do it for our Nintendo News Headlines segment. But we are very close. Very far from the podcast being done here. We are diving into the best part of the podcast. So if you've just began listening, we've not even gotten to the meat yet. So, as I said, a brand new Nintendo game has just been released this Friday, May 2nd. So it's very, very new. It is called Endless Ocean Luminous. We did just talk about it. I bought the game. I played it for, I think, 4 to 5 hours yesterday, which, let's just say, let's kind of foreshadow here, is more than I have ever played a Nintendo game on launch day, aside from, like, the big ones, like Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom, Mario Wonder, those, right? That says a lot. What do I think of Endless Ocean Luminous, and should you buy it? Is it worth the $50 price tag? Let's go ahead. Let's discuss. So guys, you know me. I always buy every Nintendo game because I talk about it on the podcast, and Endless Ocean Luminous was absolutely no different. I picked this game up at GameStop yesterday. They had a lot. They had like 4, which is not a lot. Sorry, 4 is not a lot. But compared to like on Pikmin 1+2 launch day, they had 0, right? For, I think, for the another Code Recollection game, they had 2. So 4 for GameStop is a lot. They had 4 Endless Ocean Luminous copies. I did pre-order though. And I have played this game on launch day for 4 to 5 hours. Let's go ahead. Let's dive into my thoughts. Is this game worth it? What do I think? And what even is the game? If you have no idea what the game is, what even is it? Let's dive in. So, what is Endless Ocean Luminous? Well, this is a brand new game, and this series has been around for a while. Endless Ocean began on the Wii. I believe that the first game released in 2007 on the Wii, and it has kind of been a niche series. So before this game was announced, you might have never heard of it. It's got a very niche fan base. It's not this well-known, Nintendo game type thing. It's got its fan base, and that's it. And so this game was announced during the February 21st, 2024 Nintendo Direct Partner Showcase as the ending announcement, so the final big announcement, and its core fan base got hyped. Now, that's the history. The game, essentially, to make it as simple as possible for you, because I don't want to dive into like 20 different things and like have you all confused, essentially the game is you're a scuba diver type thing in a large ocean, as it is Endless Ocean, and you're diving and scanning different fish and creatures around you. That's the game. As simple or as bare bones as it might sound, that is the game, and I'm not forgetting anything. I will dive into detail in a second, but that's what it is. For the most part, you're swimming around deep in the ocean. You can explore caves, explore different areas of the gigantic map. Each time that you go for a dive, the map is different. So it's so awesome. Like, you just find new things every single time. Obviously, like, some of the same structures are built into the different map every time, but it's like a brand new experience. You can dive, as I said, into caves and things and find fish that you've never seen. It's very cool. And just based on that, you might think, okay, Max, I'm not going to buy the game. I'm not buying it. That's all I do. Is that it? There's a little bit more to it. So there are 3 main modes in the game. You can go for a solo dive, which is just, single player dive and looking for fish. You can go for a shared dive, which is you can dive with players online, up to 30 people online, which I will dive into that. I don't love it, and I'll tell you why. And there's a story mode. Let's dive into, so I told you what single player is. Essentially, you're diving, you're seeing fish. There is like treasure on the ground that, you can find as well. But that's kind of the gist of it. You're just swimming around looking for things. The shared dive mode is great. It's so awesome, okay? But Max, you just said that you don't like it. Why is that? So it's great. I played yesterday on, where am I going with that? I was watching Nintendo Talk stream, and I was he was streaming Endless Ocean Luminous, and I joined in and I did a shared dive with him and everyone in his stream. And the shared dive mode is very fun. Essentially, same game, and you're diving with friends, and the online runs great. My problem with it is you have to know people to play online with them. You cannot, to my understanding, get into a game, get into a shared diving mode, and have random people join you. So when you get into a shared dive, it gives you a code. You have to give that code to people before they join your dive. People can't just join in randomly. And they kind of can, because I was playing last night and I was in a shared dive and I gave it out to my Discord. No one joined, which is fine, right? No one even bought the game, so it's fine. But these two Japanese names joined, and I don't think they were real people, because how would they have my code? Plus, they just looked like bots too. They were swimming around looking like bots, right? So I don't think those were real people. I don't think so. How would they have my code? Because I don't think they were from my Discord. They would have swam near me. They were just off doing their own thing. I don't think that was anybody. So how am I supposed to play with 30 people? I don't have 30 friends, let alone 30 friends that have the game, right? So I don't have that. If I streamed it, I probably still wouldn't even fill up that 30 people mark. So my biggest thing is why can't you play with people that you don't know? Join a room, so if someone creates a room and I hit join a room, I should be able to see a bunch of rooms that people are playing in right now, instead of having to get the actual code from someone. The code thing ruins everything. Because if you don't know people, no one knows your code and no one can join you. I don't like that. Now, that's fine. If you have friends, great. Let's talk about story mode. Story mode, I have not gotten to the end to. I have not done a whole too much in there. But what I can say, and what I have read online, is that the story mode, and I can back this up from what I've played, the story mode just feels like one giant tutorial. It's just for the first chapter, it is a tutorial. It's, here's how to do this. You can do this. This is how you do that, right? That is actually a tutorial. And another thing that I don't like is that in the story mode, for example, let's give you this example. I did not like this whatsoever, okay? I was swimming in the story mode. It said, scan this fish. I did it. And then a cutscene plays where the AI person who is in my headset, talking to me, giving me guidance in the story mode, is saying, watch out, there's sharks. And it shows the sharks and they look ferocious. And I swear to you, intense music began to play. Guess what happened? It makes you think something big is about to happen. Oh, we have to swim away for our life from these sharks, right? The sharks just swam away. The sharks swam away. When you made this seem like a big, intense moment that I have to swim for my life in the game to escape these sharks, it just ends anticlimactically, and they just go away. It makes you think something is going to happen, and that's not a big deal, right? But it happened multiple times where these intense moments were just cutscenes. There was some other similar situation where I was oh boy, I have to do that. And it did it for me in a cutscene. I didn't like that at all. I didn't like that. So, those are my nitpicks. Apart from that though, the game's great. So I said that I played 4 to 5 hours. For reference, when Princess Peach Showtime came out, the last, major Nintendo game that came out, I played 2 hours on launch day. So you can kind of tell this one got me hooked a little bit, and it did. Now, although diving is pretty much the only thing to do, diving and scanning fish, it's not like that's not fun. There are 578 different fish to scan. Not to mention, on May 10th, there is an in-game event where everyone gets together and you can find rare fish, stuff like that. You can unlock customization for your character and change your character's clothing color and add stickers to your character. And you can do emotes in the game like backflip. What is there? If you have a friend, that sounds bad. If you have a friend that has Endless Ocean Luminous, you can like do partner emotes, like form a heart. So one person will form half a heart, the other person that you're playing with will form the other half. You can do like partner emotes like that. You can do all kinds of cool stuff. Clap emotes. It's like Fortnite stuff, right? No dances or anything, but it's like cool stuff like that, right? You can unlock emotes. There's one more thing that you can unlock, right? I'm missing it, but did I write it on my notes? No, I didn't. But those cost in-game coins. So the customization is great. And that's really all there is to it. I will say that in terms of customization, things are freaking expensive, okay? Things are really expensive. If you want to buy an emote, there are some emotes that cost, I think one cost, like the most expensive, is 120,000 coins. And it's not easy to get that many coins. It's really not. You have to dive. That's probably at least 10 hours of playtime, which is great. That's, a rewarding thing, right? But for this kind of lack of content, are we really going to play 10 hours just for one emote? I don't know, right? I can easily see myself sinking 100 hours into the game before I die, over the course of 6 years or so. But I don't know I will be spending 10 hours of my time on one emote. And I think it wasn't even cool. It was like a play dead emote, or it was something like that, right? So it's all right. Will I be going back to play Endless Ocean Luminous? 100%. The game is relaxing. It's peaceful. It's calm. It's a nice way to wind down. People were upset because there was no combat. Listen, I don't know what you expected. And there's people saying it's a worse, Subnautica. I've never played Subnautica, but I don't think, I'm not trying to like shill this game. I don't think that we should be comparing it to Subnautica. They're two different games. One is to, relax you and wind you down and show you this entire cool sea. The other one, I've never played, but I would assume is a little bit different, right? So I'm having a great time with Endless Ocean Luminous. However, I believe myself to be on the niche fan base side of things. So I'm going to say a lot of good things about this game. If you buy this game and you pay $50 for it, I can't say you will be the happiest. There's not a whole ton of content in the game. For the people who like that stuff, like me, like Nintendo Talk, who was streaming it, you like it. You enjoy the game a lot more. You think it's worth that price tag. For the average Joe and maybe the average listener of mine, I appreciate you. I don't know this is worth it for you. I would say probably don't buy it. However, if you have a lot of interest, I would then say buy it, because I feel like if you're even just at all interested, this could be a game for you. Because a lot of people like those relaxing games, those cozy games, those calm games, right? A lot of people like that stuff. So if you're cool with, just the whole diving thing, you aren't looking for a plethora of content in the game, this could be it for you. I will tell you, I love this game. I'm going back to it. If you have me friended on Switch, you'll see me playing Endless Ocean Luminous. Maybe not soon, but like eventually. It's a fun game for me, man. I just don't know if you can charge $50 for it. A better price for it would have been $30. I would say at that price buy it, because it gives you enough content for $30, but for $50, it's rather steep. I would say skip. For the average person, I'd say skip it. Because as much as I can recommend it, as much as I love it, the average person who plays Mario Odyssey, Mario Kart, might not like this. So skip is what I say, but if you have any interest, then I'd say buy. My official rating for the game after 4 to 5 hours of gameplay, 4 to 5 hours, after that kind of time, 4 or 5 hours, you can really experience pretty much everything, right? You haven't scanned every single fish, but like what the game is all about. After that time, I can give this game, for me personally, an 8 out of 10. But I can totally understand why people gave this a 5 out of 10, a 6 out of 10. I see it both sides. My side is I like the game. I like this kind of game, and I knew what to expect. So I say 8 out of 10. It met my expectations, even though it was kind of pricey. For the average Joe, yeah, you will probably give the game a 5 or 6 out of 10. So that is my first impressions on Endless Ocean Luminous. Let me know in the comments if you're on a platform that can comment, if you are picking up this game. Maybe I think I can do a poll on Spotify. Are you picking it up? Yes or no? I think I can do that. I think I can. If I can do that, I'll do it. If I can't, I can't. Okay. But let me know. Or, DM me on Twitter if you love this game. Be like, yo, Max, I've been playing Endless Ocean. I've been loving it. Let me know. I want to hear your thoughts. So let me know. And with that said, the podcast is far from over. Over the past week, rather, over the past few days, we got a big leak from one of the most reliable, I would say the most reliable Nintendo leaker. His name is Puro, and he has leaked something that is really big for Switch, and then the next day, another credible Gorilla Monsoon company confirmed it. What am I talking about? Let's go ahead. Let's discuss. All right, guys. Listen, whenever that freaking bird on Twitter named Puro leaks something, the Nintendo community is getting flipped upside down, doing backflips, cartwheels, all that kind of stuff, right? So, quick history, because I know a lot of people see this kind of, new game leaked, and don't believe it, and I totally understand that. Things like that happen all the time, where it's like, Switch 2 leaked, and it didn't happen. I totally understand. This leak that I bring you is only being reported because we can trust who actually said it. I no longer in-depth discuss rumors that I cannot trust. This one I trust. And you'll see why. There's actual proof. This leaker who leaked this info is named Puro. Puro has been right on almost every single thing ever. He has leaked every Nintendo Direct, I think, from the past, ever since June of last year, 23. He has leaked things like Everybody Want to Switch, which no one could ever predict, right? He's leaked just a lot of stuff, mostly like, Nintendo Direct stuff, but also just small things like new Switch Online, new Switch Online N64 game coming out today, and it did. Like, he's on point. So what he is saying now, sorry to ramble. What he's saying now is he tweeted on Thursday a picture, this is it, a picture of a cartridge for the NES. And the game cartridge was the Nintendo World Championships cartridge. Now, what is that? Well, Nintendo has previously held what is called the Nintendo World Championships. We're kind of referring specifically to the one, I believe, in 1990, where they had this cartridge that would play the game of the Nintendo World Championships. And what this cartridge had was the entire competition was a mix of customized mini games. So, for example, if you were competing in the Nintendo World Championships in 1990, this isn't totally accurate, but it's similar. Let's say, there was how many Goombas can you stomp in Mario in 10 seconds? How many jumps can you do in Kirby in 4 seconds? Like, it was not that at all. It was better challenges than that, but it was like a mix of challenges and how fast can you do it. Anywho, the cartridge that has this game on it is rare. I believe I have this right. It's a rare cartridge. Anywho, Puro tweeted a picture of this cartridge without giving any further context until later, which I'll get into. Now, the cartridge tweet that he posted got everyone on Twitter tipping cars over, right? Like, I mean, there were people saying, oh my gosh, this means Switch 2. There were people saying, oh, Nintendo World Championships to Switch Online? That was a good guess. But this is so out of hand. When he tweeted the picture of the cartridge, in the top right, it says SW and then some numbers after it. And so it says like SW1, SW2, SW3. People were thinking SW meant Switch, and that because there were, SW1, SW2, SW3, SW4. They were thinking we were going to have 4 Nintendo Switch models because SW means Switch. Listen, temper your freaking expectations. I don't think that a Nintendo World Championships cartridge from the 90s can predict a Switch 2. I'm sorry, it's not true. So the rightful assumption here was that we were going to get something to do with the Nintendo World Championships. That was what I thought anyway. Not to call people out thinking Switch 2 was going to happen, but that was what I thought, right? Oh, it's something related to the World Championships. Maybe they're going to do it again in the modern day. Whatever it is, right? Well, that was all on Thursday. Come Friday, which is today, guess what, guys? Do you see this, if you're listening to the video version, do you see this box of Endless Ocean Luminous? And yeah, so in the bottom left, there's a company called the ESRB who rates every single published video game that comes out. They give it a rating of E for everyone, or ages 10 and up, or whatever, teen, mature, right? They came out today and made a rating for a Nintendo Switch game that is titled Nintendo World Championships NES Edition. And that is enough proof to say this game is basically confirmed. If Puro said it, now an actual verifiable company, the ESRB, has rated the Nintendo World Championships. Do you need any more confirmation this game is about to be announced by Nintendo come next week? You shouldn't. This is essentially confirmed without it being confirmed by Nintendo. They've rated the game. And I don't think it's going to be very long before we see this game. Because, so for example, last September, Paper Mario Thousand Year Door Remake was announced, right? The game didn't get rated until earlier this year, I believe. So it took months after the game was shown to get rated. This game is rated before we even have it officially announced by Nintendo. It's probably done. And it's not hard to do because the game title, per the ESRB, is Nintendo World Championships NES Edition. From the sounds of it, it's going to be a bunch of NES games put into this Switch game, and there's challenges in them. Like I was making up bad challenges earlier, jump 10 times in a Mario game. Whatever the challenges are, that's what it sounds like. You're going to be able to essentially play the Nintendo World Championships on your Switch, is what I get from this. Now, I think it's going to be a lot like if you guys had a Wii U or a 3DS. There was a game called, sorry, I had some throat problem. All right, there was a game called NES Remix. Whatever it was like an NES remix pack for the Wii U and 3DS, where you could play a bunch of old NES games, and there were challenges that went with them. So it was just kind of like that, right? It was NES Remix. I have it on the Wii U. It's a fun little game. I think this Nintendo World Championship game will be just like that. I think it'll just be a little blast to the past, not full price game, that is kind of an easy game to make and is something to hold you over until we get the next console, right? I think that's all this is. Now, we do have a confirmed price from Puro himself. Puro says this game will cost $30, which is very fair. They're giving you NES games with challenges, I assume. $30 is fair for that. Now, we do not know, as of recording, if it's going to be a digital-only thing, a physical release. I would hope for physical. That's kind of a cool collector's item, having the Nintendo World Championship Switch game. It's not as valuable as the World Championship cartridge, but it's cool, right? So, either way, from Puro and from the ESRB, we are getting a Nintendo World Championships NES Edition Nintendo Switch game. There is no set in stone or announced release date as of this recording. Who knows? It could drop tomorrow for all I know, right? It could be out now on my phone because I haven't checked Twitter in like 10 minutes, Who knows? Let's search Nintendo World Championships and see if I'm missing anything. Oh man. No, I'm not. But because the game has been rated, this game is going to be coming very soon. So look forward to that. Once again, what to expect with the game. It's probably just going to be a bunch of NES games thrown together, and it's like a challenge. It's like, first you're playing Mario Bros. Do this. Then you're playing Zelda. Do this. And see how fast you can do it. They'll probably jazz it up. They'll probably make it so like you can see, what everyone else around the world got, like for a high score. Whatever it is, right? They'll probably make it a super nice game. And am I going to buy it? Heck yeah. Will I come on this podcast and give you my thoughts on it? Heck yeah. So look forward to it. It's not a rumor. It's not from, those shady sites that think that they get things right and they don't. This is Puro, #1 Nintendo leaker. And this is the ESRB, who Nintendo literally has to give them the game so they can rate it. It doesn't get more official than that. I'm sorry. So, do what you will with that info. There's a very small chance they will scrap the game and it actually will never come out. But as of now, it is set for release, I would assume sometime this year, right? Probably this summer. Probably, maybe this month. I mean, there's nothing for Nintendo this month. I wouldn't be shocked. I would not be shocked if it came out in late May. We'll see, though. All right. That is it for the leaked Nintendo Switch game. Let me know if you're picking it up for the low price of $30. I say low price because it's going to be pretty fun. And, also, final piece of news, actually. We do have a description from the ESRB about the game. This is a collection of 2D challenges and platformer games in which players traverse through various modes, speedrun, survival, etc. Several challenges involve reaching specific points, while others prompt players to defeat small enemies or survive brief battles. So yeah, it's like challenges, right? Some games depict pixelated characters using small swords or arrows to strike at enemies. Enemies typically get stunned or disappear in a flash. So it's NES games with a challenge. But let me know what you think. With that said, it is time to get to the favorite segment of the week, the Answering Your Questions segment, where I, EmSwizzle or Max, answer your questions. Let's skedoodle. Well, howdy there. You have made it to your favorite segment of the week. It is time for me, EmSwizzle or Max, to answer your questions you have asked me. So, how to ask me a question? Well, there are two ways, and I might start phasing out the first way because it's actually not caught on as much as I thought it would. So let me know if you would like me to phase out this, all right? The first way is via voicemails. So if you would like to send me a voicemail where you talk on the phone like, hey, Max, I've been watching the show for 8,000 years and I want to know this question, You can leave me a voicemail. We have 2 of them for today. You can have your voice be heard on the show. Very cool. But if you don't want to do that, which most people don't, you can leave me a written question where I post on my YouTube community tab, because that is the biggest written form reach that I have. On my YouTube community tab, link down below, I post there and say, hey, hope you're well. Ask me questions. Bye-bye. And I leave a funny and cursed Nintendo image as the image for that post. Once again, if you want to find that page, the easiest way is to subscribe to that channel. My main channel, not this YouTube channel, is called EmSwizzle. You might probably know me from there. So go to that channel and subscribe, and then you won't get notified. I don't think that you get notified, but you will kind of come across it if you're just scrolling on YouTube or whatever. Or just go back to that page every single Wednesday. I normally post it on Wednesday, sometime before like 5 p.m. So whichever's easiest for you, the easiest way is probably to subscribe and just check back that channel whenever. But anyways, guys, one other note before we begin. I have begun to take even more questions and put more questions on this podcast. So instead of like the usual 10, the usual like 8, honestly, I have, I think, 15 questions today. And so I'll be answering them, but I'll be giving a little bit of shorter answers just to kind of keep things moving and have more people on the show. Because my in-depth answers are not, always needed. I go way too far into things that are just like a simple answer. So gonna do some shorter answers, but have some more questions. Only downside is I cannot put a timestamp for every single question. I will be doing that for like an hour. So I can't realistically do that. So I apologize. The entire segment is one timestamp, but we're gonna go kind of quick through questions. So, I won't rush them, but just less in-depth answers, right? So our first voicemail, because we begin with voicemails. Also, by the way, if you want to become a channel member and support us financially, you get your question guaranteed on the podcast. Anyways, our first question comes from Evolution Master on voicemail, who is a channel member. Let's hear it play. There we go.
Hey, EmSwizzle, it's Evolution Master or Corey, and I was wondering if you have played Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom. What was your favorite fused weapon that you ever made in the game?
I have played Tears of the Kingdom. Thank you, Corey, for your question. My favorite fused weapon. I didn't do it a whole lot. Oh, God. I didn't do it a whole lot, coupled by the fact that I last played almost 1 year ago. It makes it hard for me to remember. I don't really remember my fused weapons. I can tell you that it wasn't anything crazy. I didn't do like some crazy stuff. I just fused like a wooden thing and a stone. Like that was all I did. I didn't go crazy. I forget what weapon I used. Master Sword, right? I just used that. I didn't really fuse much, to be honest. I did a lot of fusing, like building things and stuff, but I never really did anything with the, as far as weapons go. So I apologize. I don't have much of an answer there. But our next voicemail comes from Christopher. Let's hear it, Christopher.
Okay, so Max, I have a question to you. So, it's because I am hyped for the next Nintendo console, but I have a question. Do you think it'll be called Nintendo Switch 2? Or do you think it'll have another name? And do you think that it'll be coming out March 2025? Or do you think it'll be coming out at a later or sooner date? Please answer my question. I have nothing better to do with my life than ask you questions. Thank you.
Gotcha. So, thank you so much, Christopher. But your first question, do I think it'll be called Nintendo Switch 2 or something else? I think it'll be something else. I had a long form video recently on my main channel where I talked about that they should, at this point, just call it Switch 2. but they realistically would not do that just because it's just not like Nintendo. They always have to spice something up. So yeah, I don't think that it'll really be called Switch 2, but it should be. It's just like the most easiest way to like understand it. Yeah, I don't think it'll be called Switch 2. And then your second question, will it be released in March of 2025? Yeah, I could see that. I mean, that's when they put out Switch. They put it out in March, and I like that timing a lot better than people saying this holiday season in 2024. I think March 2025 is when you do it. That could kind of fluctuate. Like they could put it out in April or February or just that kind of time frame. I think is when we'll get Switch 2. I don't see it being this year. We'll get it announced this year, I believe, but not get the actual system this year. They'll be hyping it up at the end of this year, but yeah, I see it releasing, in that sort of late winter, early spring time frame. Yep. Now, we have our written questions. Where's my mouse so I can, see all the questions? Here we go. Yeah, there we go. All right. I have, I think, like 15 written questions. I'm going to go through them. See how I didn't rush those answers that I just gave, but I just didn't say unnecessary details, right? So, that's kind of what I'm doing here. Our next question comes from F100 Games, who asks, what would be your dream kart to be in Mario Kart? Dude, do you know how they collaborated with Mercedes-Benz or something for the Wii U DLC for Mario Kart 8? Dude, collab with like Lamborghini. Could you imagine freaking Baby Mario whipping a Lambo on Waluigi Pinball? Dude, come on. Like we could have great things going in Mario Kart 9. Imagine like Gold Mario whipping I don't know, Lambo. Not a sports car. Freaking Wario whipping a Jeep. Like, why can't we have that kind of stuff? My dream kart would be more real life cars. And I know not everyone would want to partner with Nintendo, but if you can get anybody, please do it. That's one of the coolest collaborations. It's always great when they collab with in real life things like Mercedes-Benz, but yeah, I want to see more of that. That'd be awesome. Real life things in games slap. Fortnite does a good job. Carter Sports asks, what are my favorite sports? Carter Sports asking my favorite sports? Man, my favorite, I guess, sport is MMA. I don't train mixed martial arts. I watch it. My favorite sport to watch is like cage fighting, UFC in specific, fighting. I don't train, but I do boxing and Muay Thai like classes. So I that's kind of my little fix there. I do those, but I don't like train seriously. Like, yeah, I'm a MMA fighter. I don't do that. So it's not my favorite sport. No, it is. Yeah, it is. MMA, that kind of stuff. I enjoy watching football, American football when it's on. So like American football is, what you call it. I enjoy watching that when it's on. It's tough to say what team I'm a fan of because I am locally, like I live in the area of the Washington Commanders. So that would be my local team, right? But how can I say this without getting too much information? I'm a Steelers fan as well for a good reason. But I want to brand myself as more of a Steelers fan because they're just better. So I'm kind of both. And so, yeah, I would say UFC. I'm going to call that a sport, even though it's an organization, not a sport. UFC, football, and then my third favorite sport to watch would probably be, I guess, soccer. I never watch soccer, but if I had to pick a third thing, it'd probably be soccer. Basketball's cool. But something about soccer, there's more of a vibe to it. I don't know. So those would be my three. Once again, I never watched soccer, but I would pick that. Then Camden asks another Mario Kart kind of thing. What type of car do you think Waluigi would drive? Waluigi would probably drive like a McLaren. Yeah, probably. Joseph asks, what is your favorite capture in Mario Odyssey? So that's like when the Cappy dude goes to like take over people. Let me see. Let me pull up my options. Google Super Mario Odyssey captures. Let's see. My freaking Google is frozen. Let's see. What are my options here? Let's hit images. Yeah. Oh yeah, here's all of them. Off the bat, I really like the one with Koopa. Guys, if you know anything about me, I love Koopa Troopa. I use Koopa in Mario Golf, Mario Party, and that's about it. But I love the Koopas. And so this capture here of Koopa wearing a Mario hat and a Mario mustache is my favorite. I like that one a lot. Very cool. Then Doggo asks, which is better, Pikmin 1 or Pikmin 2, and why? I'd say Pikmin 2 has more meat on the bone. It's a bit harder. You've got more diverse things going on. But I like Pikmin 1, dude. I really like Pikmin 1. We talked about it, I think, on my last members only podcast. Link down below if you want to get those. Pikmin 1 is more of like a time-based thing, and I like that system a lot, kind of like how Pikmin 3 is. And I just maybe had a better experience playing Pikmin 1. It felt just a lot more accessible. Not that Pikmin 2 is not accessible, but it's very difficult in the post-game. So, I like difficulty, but it's like, bro, you might be put in a hospital after you're done with Pikmin 2. So I would say Pikmin 1, I like it a lot better. I like the soundtrack a bit better. So yeah, my gut says Pikmin 1. That's why. You might like Pikmin 2, but you might find it to be a bit more meatier, a bit more jam-packed. But for me, soundtrack is actually a big part of why I like Pikmin 1. So yeah, Pikmin 1 all the way. Hamza, oh, my mouse is frozen. I can't scroll anymore. Why is that? Oh boy. Might have to call our producers from the back to fix our mouse. I don't know what's going on. Hamza asks, what's your favorite childhood memory? I assume in terms of like video games, but yeah, I can answer that. My favorite, let's turn it video game childhood memory. My favorite memory, but by the way, my mouse is fixed, I think. So cool. My favorite memory in terms of gaming, hard to pick a favorite, but I have a few that come to mind. So there was one time, I think I was 8. I had my dad pack our Wii U on a trip, and you might think that I'm bringing, some games like Mario 3D World or Captain Toad or Mario Maker. Guess what I brought? I brought one game. And it's the one game that has the most like other parts that you have to bring with it. I brought Disney Infinity 2.0 on our vacation trip, and as I just said, you have to bring the base. You have to bring figures to play with, right, dude? I don't know why I did that, but that was fun, and I only played Disney Infinity 2.0 on this trip. But I mean, dude, it was a norm for me, and it's probably maybe a norm for you guys to bring. If you go like on a trip, well, it depends what kind of trip, to bring your gaming console with you. It was like a total norm. But this was before I didn't bring my handheld console with me. I brought my Wii with me to places. I brought my Wii U to different places and hooked it up to the TV. I don't know how much of a norm that even is. But yeah, dude, I would bring Skylanders on trips. I would bring Disney Infinity. That was what I was into, like that whole Toys to Life thing back then. So that was kind of what I was doing. That was what I did. And I have memories of just playing those games on trips. It was great, dude. It was awesome. I Like Trains asks, do you like croissants? I don't eat them often, but they're good. Dude, Get me like a chocolate chip croissant from Starbucks has them, right? Give me a Starbucks chocolate chip croissant. Your boy's smiling all day. Dude, I can freaking tell you that. But yeah, I've not had a croissant in like what, like 3 years? Maybe the last time was in New York somewhere. Yeah, it's totally been a while. Been a bit since the croissants, man. Jerry's asks, what version of the Switch would you recommend for a first-time buyer? I would recommend you, Jerry. First-time buyer, it depends how much you're willing to spend. First-time buyer, and okay, it's a simple question of, do you want the Switch Lite or not? If the answer is yes, buy that. If the answer is no, and then you're deciding between normal Switch and Switch OLED, buy OLED. It's $50 more. It's more future-proof. It just has better ingredients, better screen for handheld, Ethernet port for docked, better kickstand, better audio quality when handheld. For $50, you're getting a lot of extra stuff. So I would say OLED in that case. But if you're kind of on a budget, Switch Lite is great as well. It's awesome. You just can't dock it, which is kind of a deal breaker for a lot of people. Anonymous user asks, what Nintendo franchise would you like to see return on the next Switch? F-Zero, Star Fox, Mother, etc. I know. Oh yeah, I know. Chibi Robo. Chibi Robo. A lot of people give Chibi Robo flack because of Ziplash. If you go back and play Chibi Robo for the GameCube, Chibi Robo Park Patrol, you will realize those games, albeit not, they aren't the best games ever to ever exist, but they're fun little joys, dude. They're fun little games. I would say bring back Chibi Robo for at least just one last dance. One last game for Chibi Robo. Please, I'm begging you. I think the developer who made it is called Skip Limited, and I think, did they shut down? I think that they might have shut down. So yeah, maybe the hopes are very, very small for that one. But yeah, I would say that. EAJPP asks, what is your favorite Sonic game, or have you played any Sonic games? Yeah, my favorite Sonic game is Sonic Colors for the Wii. I played that. Can I tell you a story? So I think I was 4 or 5, right? And I had lice in my hair. I know, very disgusting. I'm sorry, but it's part of the story, right? I had lice. I didn't like the fact that I had lice. But I guess I didn't like getting haircuts, which is weird because I love getting haircuts now. I got one, by the way, like yesterday or 2 days ago. Check it out. It's pretty nice. I guess I didn't like getting haircuts because I did not want to go get a haircut to get the lice out of my hair or, whatever I was doing. So my dad bribed me with a trip to GameStop afterwards. And then after that, I was like, oh, heck yeah. And I don't remember what I bought, but I strongly think it was Sonic Colors for the Wii. I think it was, but I would not bet my life on that because I don't have it vividly pictured, but I think it was Sonic Colors. I think. So I bought that game there, and I remember falling in love. I don't know if it was like that day when I played it or if it was later down the line. I am in love with the Sonic Colors theme song. Like the Shooting for the Stars where like the dude is singing. Dude, it's crazy. I'm in love with that song. Like the like the intro cutscene. That song, perfect. So I love Sonic Colors. I've dabbled in Frontiers. Haven't even played Superstars yet. I've played a few of the other ones, like the Sonic the Hedgehog for Xbox 360, Sonic Unleashed, Secret Rings. I've never beaten any of those because I played them as a kid and I just didn't beat them. But I have dabbled in all of those. My favorite is Sonic Colors. Epic Things asks, what's your favorite Lego game? The Lego Movie video game. Quick story. Lego Movie video game I beat. That's a freaking like 12-hour game. I think I beat it in one day at my grandma's house. I promise you, with just a bowl of like tortilla chips next to me. I just beat the game and ate those chips. I can still taste them, bro, because of that entire thing. I was just there all day, and I beat the game. Maybe it was more like 10 hours. It was more like a 10-hour game. 10 hours, and I beat the game. I loved it. And I've replayed the entire thing ever since. I just love that game so much. I can tell you now, though, don't go buy the Lego Movie video game 2 and think it'll be good. That game sucks. Lego Movie 1 for Wii U and Xbox One and PS4, that one's good. That one is good. Buy that one. Don't buy the freaking second one. Second one sucks, can't even lie. Bill Cook 4768 is a hot dog a sandwich? No, because it would be called a hot dog sandwich. It would be called hot dog sandwich. You always hear, oh, peanut butter and jelly sandwich and whatever. No one says hot dog sandwich. Have you ever heard that? Maybe you have, but it can't be very common, right? That is not common. So no, hot dogs are not sandwiches. Eggsy Cart asks, when do you think a new Mario Party game will release? Next console for sure. So that would be 2025. And I would say a little bit later in the Switch's life. Maybe I would say early 2026. Because I feel like they wouldn't be in a rush to put out Mario Party as opposed to putting out... Okay, first they're doing a 3D Mario, then they're going to bring Mario Kart. I think Mario Party is on that list, but not so soon. I think that comes out early 2026. Zach asks, do you think Nintendo will add the Wii to Switch Online and add Wii games? Not Switch Online, but I do believe in the future there will be a way to play Wii games on whatever the newest console is. In the form of Switch Online, but not on the Switch that we have now. So the console in 10 years from now, I think might have Wii support, but not Switch and not Switch 2. It'll be after that, I think. The next natural step is to put GameCube on Switch Online. But the problem with that is we're getting GameCube remakes and remasters right now. So why would you put all of them on Switch Online? It makes no sense. So it's going to be a while until we get any sort of Wii stuff, for free. Adventuring Korok, second to last question, asks, what is your favorite song from any Nintendo game? Easy answer. Animal Crossing New Leaf title theme. Na, 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 na. Dude, sound of my childhood right there. Sound of my childhood. And then finally, Link22777 asks, how did you feel when you showed your face? That's a little vague. Do you mean like when I showed my face in my YouTube shorts? I felt no ways. I felt nothing because I've shown my face since the first day I began YouTube. If you go back to my first video on March 29th or something of 2020, my face was there. So showing it in my shorts was like the next natural progression. And if someone wanted to find my face before that, they could. So I didn't feel nothing from it. It was just like the next natural, like, oh, let's show my face. I was never scared of it because I've done it ever since 2020. And I think I first showed my face in early 2023, so last year, on my actual shorts. But I mean, it was always up there. It was always easy to find. So I didn't feel much from it. It was just like the next natural progression, as I say, So that's kind of how that was. But yeah, guys, that is it for the Mario Matter episode number 87. We're inching closer every single week to that 100 episode. I don't know what I'm gonna do for that episode. I guess just take more questions than normal and add a fun segment, add a cool little story time that has to do with Nintendo and that kind of stuff, right? So I'll just make it a bit more of a fun deluxe, probably like 2-hour show. And yeah, it'll be great. That's ways away though. That's not until like August or something. So we're going to wait. But that is it. I hope that you all did enjoy. And for those holding out for the trivia question that I asked in the beginning of the show, I asked you all, which game did Waluigi first appear in? The answer is C. Waluigi first appeared in Mario Tennis. He first appeared then. I believe it was made by Camelot. Is that right? And they made Waluigi, and that's great. So, that is it. I hope to see you all return for the Mario Matter episode number 88, which releases on May 11th, 2024, Saturday. Be there or be square. It's May 11th, right? Yeah, it's right. So, hope to see you all there. And with that said, I'll get back to, I'm going to go edit this podcast. I'm going to go do all the cool stuff. And I'll see you all very soon in my YouTube shorts. We have a banger coming out this same day as the podcast. This Saturday, we have a great YouTube short coming out at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. I beat a Nintendo World Record. That's crazy, I know. And yeah, I'm going to stop rambling. I'm going to go eat some lunch. I'm going to go grab some chicken or something like that. And I'll see you all next Saturday. Adios.